Welcome to this window trader presentation, Market Profile, Is It Right For You? Before starting, please read our disclosure statement, which basically states that this presentation is for informational purposes only, and we make no guarantees as to the results you'll achieve using the market profile or the ideas shared in this presentation. My name is Doug, and I'm your moderator for this presentation. I started trading and using the market profile in 2003 and began working with Window Trader full-time in 2009. This presentation originated in the summer of 2002 when Window Trader was invited by the Chicago Board of Trade to give several presentations on the market profile to members of the CBOT and independent traders. Based on the positive response of the attendees, the CBOT asked Window Trader to create a version of the presentation for the CBOT website. For those of you that are interested in viewing that presentation, it's still available on the current CME website. The topics I'll be covering are trading's context, core concepts of the market profile, and resources for the market profile, also who we are. So how can you benefit from watching this presentation? Primarily, you'll see and hear how the market profile can help you interpret market information and identify common patterns of market activity, how experienced traders use the market profile to determine key reference points and make their trading decisions, and most importantly, you'll then have the information that can help you decide if and how the market profile can potentially benefit you and your trading. Then, for those who wish to learn more, we suggest the following. First, start by reviewing this video and other resources available on the market profile. Then, if you decide the market profile can potentially benefit your trading, go to our website for links to those educators focused on the market profile. And finally, when you're ready to find the market profile software that potentially works best for you, return to our website where you'll find the links to all the major market profile software providers. At this point, we want to be very clear that this presentation is not designed to teach you how to use the market profile in your trading. Our only focus here is to provide information that will help you decide if and how the market profile is right for you. Now let's talk briefly about trading's context. As we all know, it's easy to look at this or any other chart and think, if only I'd entered the market when it was at its low and exited the market when it reached its high, I would have made a ton of money. While that's true, the problem with that kind of thinking is that no one really knows for sure where the market's going to go tomorrow, a week from now, or a year from now. So if we can't know where the market's going to go next, the best we can do is attempt to discover, through interpretation and evaluation, where it has the highest probability of going, and then make an informed trading decision that minimizes risk and offers potential gain. So the question then becomes, how do we find those higher probability areas where risk can be minimized and profits realized? Well, we'd like to be able to give you the answer. We can't because we don't know. But what we do know is that the market profile is a proven decision support tool used by countless successful traders around the world. Why? Because it helps them interpret and evaluate the market's auction process, which is the source of market-generated information that reflects the attitudes and opinions of the market participants. This experienced interpretation is valuable in identifying and understanding how the market might move vertically or horizontally, as well as locating where it might change direction. With that being said, let's explore some of the basic concepts of the market profile. Market profile displays market activity in a graphical format that supports understanding and clarity. Just like viewing a floor plan quickly conveys a space's layout better than a verbal description can. The market profile is based on a standard distribution graphic or bell curve that illustrates how similar data tends to collect around a mean. For example, if we look at a group of normal individuals, most will be of average height, bracketed on both sides by smaller numbers of those who are shorter and those who are taller. If we tip the bell curve on its side, you'll notice how this display of a market profile looks like the bell curve, with most of the data collecting around the mean. It was created in the early 1980s by Pete Stottlemyre and Mike Boyle from the CBOT, and it's based on the bell curve, using letters to designate specific time periods. We'll have more on that in a second. Here are two of the most commonly used market profile formats, a collapsed profile on the left and an expanded profile on the right. On the expanded view, each column of letters represents 1/2 hour of trading, and each price row containing that letter represents where the market traded during that half hour. For clarification, if you look at a 30-minute bar chart on the left, you can see how it matches exactly the expanded market profile display on the right. This view of a session illustrates the range of the profile from its low to its high, the same way a bar chart or candlestick chart defines its range. Here, the yellow box illustrates the value area or first standard deviation on the bell curve, which is approximately 68% of the volume of TPOs displayed. TPO is the name given to letters in the market profile and stands for time, price, and opportunity. Now, while identifying the value area is important, the thing that is most important is the relationship between current and previous value, as illustrated by this and the next two slides. On this chart, we have an example of both overlapping higher value, shown in number 1, and higher value, illustrated by number 2. Here we see an example of both inside value and outside value. And finally, we have an example of both overlapping lower value and lower value. On this chart, the yellow box highlights the point of control, which is the longest row of TPOs closest to the center of the range, and it's also known as the fairest price where trade was conducted. Here we see the yellow box designating the initial balance, represented by the first two 30-minute periods, A and B, of the session. As a point of interest, many experience